Do you want to go viral on TikTok? Who doesn't? And don't you worry, I got you. My guest today is Rahul Rai. He has a combined over 4 million followers on TikTok on two different profiles with two completely different niches. And today he's going to spill the tea on TikTok virality and niching down and creating a community of people who care and value your stuff.
You have to be obsessed with process and not results of the process. If you want to create content, or if you want to like build community and all this stuff, you want more followers, viral this, viral that, it's really just a game of consistency. You just have to make content every day. And that's it. And then like you do it around something you're interested in. It's like you're probably one or two skills away from actually just blowing off the top of your potential.
My name is Kiana Daniel. I'm the founder of the Invest Diva movement, where our mission is to help 1 million moms take control of their financial future by the year 2025. Today, we're talking about content creation, because content creation is the basis of making more money online. And when you make more money, then you have more money to invest, which will help you compound much more rapidly towards generational wealth. So with that being said, let's go say hi to Rahul Rai. Your name, we are super
Rai, like the bread.
Right, like the bread. We're super excited to have you. I'm pretty sure a lot of our audience watching have been fangirling over all of your TikToks. And what has been like, I joined TikTok, I feel like it was February 2020, and you were one of the first people who popped on my account. And first it was your other account, your acting account. And then it was your second account. I was like, oh my God, this dude knows what niching down is.
Yeah.
And that's what I really wanted to talk to you about, because there are not many people who are rocking it in both ends.
Yeah.
And just creating content on a daily basis.
Yeah, it helps to not have a life. I don't do much else. Especially like during quarantine, because there was nothing else to do. So 2020, I could just blast out content every day. And so what I've learned is like, if you want to create content, or if you want to like build community and all this stuff, you want more followers, viral this, viral that, it's really just a game of consistency. It's not sexy. It's not glamorous. It's just like, you just have to make content every day. And that's it. And then like you do it around something you're interested in, if that helps.
So, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
And I've been preaching it.
Yeah.
And that like literally, because we found out how important it is to create a content, it's my job basically as the head of Invest Diva now to like create the content, but you run out of ideas. Like you have been so good to be on top of the latest trends. And so just, I get it that you're like, you're putting as you don't have a life, but you do. You're an actor, and you're like, you've been very, very helpful in the financial literacy field. You're basically helping women, which is interesting because that's what we're doing. And you're like, you are helping women. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Not many men want to do that. So kudos to you for doing that. But how do you come up with the ideas? What is like, do you have a process, a plan, or just like?
Yeah. So what I'll do is, especially on the acting side, I will consume a ton of content also. Like I will have times during the day, especially at night, like maybe before bed or just throughout the day, I'm watching tons of content. So I'm sort of picking and choosing, be like, oh, I can do something with that. And this sound is really interesting. This idea between this couple, this conversation between this couple is really interesting. Oh, women seem to ask their partner this question. I never knew that. So now what is my version of that? And then let's go improvise it. I don't really write stuff down, but I'll voice memo them. So if I have ideas, I'm like, oh, look how that person's walking their dog. Like that was like one of the weirdest things that I noticed the other day is like when people walk their dog, they're on their phone. So
Okay.
it's like a weird, it's just a weird form of me just observing the world around me as it is, and then whatever kind of piques my interest and sort of makes me laugh or chuckle, then I'm like, okay, that's gotta be, there's something there that's probably relatable, and I'm not the only one that finds that funny, or maybe I can make it somewhat funny. And then at least on the Finlit profile, it's really, if you really watch my content, I'm just kind of repeating the same stuff in different ways. And sometimes it's very bland. Sometimes it's just directly to camera. Sometimes it's using a trend. Sometimes it's using this. And so, like, again, creating content it's going to ebb and flow in terms of your own level of creativity. But if you are able to stay consistently in that ebb and flow, that you're going to find times of like amazing creative juice, and then times where there's just, it's like you're flatlining, but you just have to keep doing it. And that's like, again, it's the discipline. That's really what it is. It's really just discipline that helps you win in any game: side hustling, investing, content creation. If you're just the guy or gal who's more consistent and most consistent, will usually end up winning.
So, so far what I've got from you is step number one, don't have a life. Step number two,
Yeah.
be observant of
Yeah.
other people, which is very interesting because so if you're not naturally an observant person, that is going to be a hard task. Like what you just mentioned right now, that you notice how people are acting and then you take notice and you turn that into something that your audience can relate to.
Yeah. But it's also just, this is my way. My way, like all I ever have to give anybody in the if I ever give advice or whatever, is my personal experience. That's all. I think that's all we're just projecting. But the arrogance or the mistake we all make is to think that our personal experience is absolute truth. It's not.
You're helping. No, so here's the thing, because there are so many different ways
Yes.
of doing things, and that's why we try to interview as many people as possible, because then what you say and we can take notes and we can say, oh, I can do that, like I didn't
Yeah.
even think of it that way. So it's absolutely helpful. So, and there, you don't have to put a disclaimer here, we know that this
Oh
is
no.
your way, and
Yeah.
we're truly appreciative of you sharing. But I wanted to ask you a little bit about what got you to actually having two profiles.
Yeah.
And can you do you regret
Yeah.
that at all?
No, I don't regret it. I just figured it would be very confusing if on one profile I was doing like all this acting stuff and then talking about um, Finlit and investing. The two profiles do go together because the whole blueprint for my acting career I've just completely laid out to people, which is a blueprint I think that they can use in whatever niche or whatever industry you're in. If you're a plumber or a carpenter, we all just need leverage, and attention is a form of leverage. Financial literacy and understanding the language of money is another form of leverage, because then you know what to do with the money once you get it. But I had enough content, I think, at least in my head, to have two separate profiles. Also on Instagram, because I started on Instagram, I had two profiles. So it just kind of made sense to have two TikTok profiles, two YouTube accounts, two Twitter, and kind of do that. But they do go together in a way.
And
In my
how
opinion.
many pieces of content do you create per day for each profile?
Yeah. Like if we're talking about like pandemic, I was making like 18 pieces a day on the acting profile, and then another 9 pieces a day on Finlit. So that was
No
27
way.
pieces a day, every day, 7 days a week. If I was hungover, it didn't matter. If I was sad, it didn't matter. If I was just not feeling it, it didn't matter. But there was absolutely nothing else to do. And now I've had to balance other things that are just coming to light and other opportunities. So now I've dropped it down to just releasing 3 a day on each. But I still make content when the ideas just pop. I just So like after this, I'll probably just make content.
And now your acting career is actually kind of picking up, and you're doing other things. You're creating funnels, and you're doing all sorts of stuff. So you're actually like trying to create a business out of this as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was side hustling a little bit, doing merchandise, trying to explore ways to monetize the attention, because it's one thing to get attention, then to monetize it is like to monetize it beyond the creator fund and or AdSense on YouTube. Although YouTube pays like extremely well, I've heard. And that was just another exploration. And then from there, I realized, oh, what would actually be a cool long-term side hustle is to help other fellow side hustlers find the right resources so that they can get the right fundament. What I've come to realize, I'm all about fundamentals. If you have the fundamentals, then you can do all the flashy stuff after. So when it comes to investing, just learn the fundamentals. When it comes to side hustling, learn the fundamentals. So if I can keep you from not wasting time YouTubing and Googling, how do I affiliate more? How do I dropship? How do I this? And I'm like, read these books, take this course. Now you cut out a lot of wasted time, and you can spend that wasted time doing and reading and researching and taking the courses so that you can get on the treadmill much faster. So now my whole job as an affiliate marketer, which is just for my own mental like understanding, is that I want to help people accelerate their progress to creating the life, whatever they want, whatever passion they have, help them monetize it and get on that treadmill faster.
So good. And I'm so glad that you brought up affiliate marketing, because that was going to be my next question. And I know it's all about creating value for other people. Like that goes both with content and actually selling people, or if you're an affiliate. So if we can get a little bit of tea out of here, between affiliate marketing and acting, which is your passion, and then actually starting your own business, because I also noticed that you now have a lead magnet and you're trying to so which one is the easier one to start out with, in your opinion?
Well, it's interesting because affiliate marketing and all this like investing, side hustling, all this kind of stuff kind of came later. But to me, it's a great complement to the acting game, because again, it's like if you know how to market and sell, one thing you'll notice with creators, one thing you'll notice with artist types, we hate business. We hate marketing and selling. We just hate it because it's gross, or at least our understanding of it is this sleazy salesman, snake oil, the used car salesman that rips you off. But what I've come to realize is that marketing and selling is actually the same skill set as acting, which is just storytelling. And storytelling is just about empathy, listening, and all that kind of good stuff. So if I can have that mentality into the marketing and selling game, then I can tackle the skills of marketing and selling, which will then help me on the acting side. So to me, they go together. The acting, all that creative stuff maybe comes a little more naturally to me because it's just nature, nurture, how I am, how I've always been, dancing and all this kind of stuff. Creativity kind of, it gets me going. It's probably where I'm happiest. But I'm not going to be able to create at scale in front of all the people that I want, or win the Oscar, or work with the so-and-so and so-and-so, if I don't know the skills of marketing and selling. And in like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there's a really great quote that stood out to me. It's like, Robert Kiyosaki's like, you're probably 1 or 2 skills away from actually just blowing off the top of your potential. But those 1 or 2 skills may lie in realms of knowledge that you have huge amounts of judgment and fear of. And I would say for me, it's marketing and selling, or for any creative, it's marketing and selling. And money. Money is also very intimidating. But once you start tackling them, it just becomes, it's like, these aren't that scary. They're really not.
So good. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I absolutely agree, because I mean, we hate sales because of the sleazy sales experiences, but the sales that we don't appreciate are the ones that we didn't feel like we were being sold to, and we actually took joy out of it, like buying the phone, the iPhone. I'm like, oh my God, oh, just give me the iPhone. They actually sold it to us, and I loved it. but it didn't feel sleazy because they did a good job. So if you do a good job as a salesperson, you're
Yeah,
actually creating
and if
joy.
you have like if you give more value than what you're charging for, then you're always gonna, you know, win probably.
So good, so good. Rahul, you are awesome. Thank you so much for being with us. People who are watching this on YouTube, go follow Rahul on TikTok on both of his profiles. We have them up here or up here. If you aren't already, you probably already are. And follow him on YouTube as well. He's amazing. He's very funny in one of his profiles, and his financial literacy field. He also gives you the basics, and he basically is sharing his journey, which I find super awesome, and he really is just honest. So definitely give him a like and follow. And if you have any questions, let us know in the question box over here down in the comments. And if you want to get more from us and have more awesome celebrity guests on our YouTube channel, give this a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode of the Invest Even Movement. Thank you, Rahul.
Yeah, thank you.
A tradition with the Invest Even Movement is that we ask all of our guests to make a silly face.
1, 2, 3. Lovely. Lovely. Da, da, da.